Phil, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Russell.
A little late with this.
That's all right.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I've been in the secular movement about 12, 13 years. I've been on the board of Atheist Alliance of America, Secular Student Alliance.
Great group.
Yep. I was on the board as the treasurer for the Reason Rally, the most recent one, the second one. Been an activist all that time. I had a blog for a while. That was awful. My podcast now is a little bit better. As anyone who knows me knows I can speak at least not as badly as I write. And it's called The Phil Ferguson Show. It's about 1/3 finance and 2/3 atheism. And to the best of my knowledge, it's #1 in that category.
Yeah, you've got stiff competition there?
That's right. It's like automobiles when they say #1 in the class.
Okay.
Their class is that one car or truck.
Yes.
Often talk about things like cryptocurrency. I talked about that. What stocks are, what bonds are, what mutual funds are. And a lot of this goes through the mathematics of how investment products work. So sometimes I give investment basics. Sometimes I talk about how things are scams and how the math actually works behind the product, where the company can make more money with your money than you make with your money. And I go through the math, and some people might find that really boring. Other people find it fascinating.
I find it fascinating.
That someone finally explains how it works.
I was on your show a couple of years ago, I think, and we talked about one of my first loves, which was Amway.
Yes.
A lot of people may not have heard this about me, but my first experience with early internet skepticism was when somebody tried to recruit me into Amway, and I did some reading on the budding internet that only Al Gore had heard of at that time.
Yeah.
And found, wow, this is a giant scam, and a lot of people are against it. And then I wrote an anti-Amway webpage, and yada, yada, yada. And that was way before I was doing a lot of public atheism stuff. And that's how I got my first hate mail, and it was awesome.
Very nice. Well, the most hate mail I got was talking about Bitcoin. So.
Okay. So we don't have to talk about Bitcoin.
We don't have to, and it might even be best for the show if we don't.
Yes.
But if you want to hear all about it, I did 2 different 1-hour segments right before Christmas in 2017, about 2 hours explaining Bitcoin, and I won't want to spoil it for the listeners, why it may or may not be able to work.
Yeah. And the views and opinions expressed here are our own and not representative of the atheist community of Austin. I am both a techie and a guy who is interested in finance, and my experience with Bitcoin is that techies are fascinated by it because it's got super geeky technology behind it, and economists generally think it's bullshit.
Well, it's very clever, and I have to grant that it's very clever, but as one of my guides, like when the dot-com bubble was big, sometimes when the last person in to something that's growing very, very quickly, that's when you should be worried. And so one of the signs for me that cryptocurrency had a problem is when the cashier at the Piggly Wiggly asked me about cryptocurrency. So I knew that was a sign that we're near the end.
I see. Okay. Which may not be true.
It may not. There's no way to know. Yeah. Other fun things, I've done shows that describe annuities. I did the mathematics of a long-term healthcare insurance.
Math on podcasts is a notoriously excellent show topic.
It's an interesting thing, because sometimes I'll even tell people, if you're listening to this now and driving, you may want to actually listen to another show and come back to mine.
Have some coffee.
Because we're going to go through the mathematics and probabilities. That's a good, fun topic.
Yes.
A lot of people don't understand probabilities and statistics of how long-term care works. Or another one of the things I say, and I'll just throw it out there, is if you have young kids, don't save for college. I'll just throw that out there.
Controversial.
Yeah, I'm crazy.
Bring on the hate mail. I am also a nerd who finds math fascinating, but we're gonna go on to more callers.
Let's do the show.